Hello there. Good morning. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the stream. Today is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. We were gone for, what, 2 whole weeks? Yeah. No, almost. Tuesday would have been 2 whole weeks, because I think we streamed on Tuesday before I left, right? Because I know we didn't stream on Thursday before I left. Because that was the night that I was leaving, and that was not happening. And then I got back on Tuesday, and it's been a ride. So, yeah, hello, welcome, greetings. 2 weeks? Exactly. 2 weeks wasted. Yeah, so we were gone for a little while. I went to my brother's wedding in Georgia. We went to Georgia. And then I got back, except getting back was difficult. We had lots of flight problems. And then I got back and was very tired. And then had some other stuff going on that we'll discuss later. But first, let's go ahead and get this fired up. Let's get Stream Raiders started. Because we got to get into Olympiad. We have not touched Olympiad at all yet. I have heard that it is difficult. So, but I've also heard that they tried to make it easier because too many people were struggling with it. Yes, today we riot. It is also my understanding that ranged units seem to be the best for this event. In addition, that just vibing doesn't normally work most of the time because the event is difficult. So I will be sure to still play some vibe spots, but I will also place a little bit more of a structured placement. But hello. Hello, welcome. I hope everyone is well. Athena, you have quests that are done. I gave up on Street Raiders again completely, even left the Discord. What was holding you on before, Eve? Like, genuine question. Hope? Honestly, not sure. Hope is not the answer I was expecting. Just given the general, like, I don't know, your general disposition towards the Stream Raiders brand for like at least 6 months. I gotta remind myself what was in here. It was Atomic Heart, Cyberpunk, and Wanted Dead. That's what we did. Yeah, I had wanted to have these reactions being posted while I was gone, but I did not get around to editing them before I left, and then I had the energy of nothing when I got back. So, it's great. We'll do them in this order. $20.88. One of them to fix their problems. One of them to change. Maybe that's what they've been talking about. They took mouse steps in the right direction and then kind of went the other way again. Yeah, they've been very confusing lately. Like, I don't know what's happening in terms of, like, their leadership or their management, but it is definitely extremely confusing in a lot of ways. Like, I think one of the most baffling things that they have ever done is for everyone to be saying, hey, where are my skins at? Where are my skins at? And they make an announcement that the skin release schedule is backed up 3 to 6 months. And then for like a week later, them to be like, and now we're making it easier for you to become a Stream Raiders affiliate so that you can have skins too. And I'm like, wait, why would you do that if you already don't have enough staff, enough art staff, enough asset staff to be able to handle the current load? You will never get caught up. And having that large of a backlog is terrible. It is such a bad play, in my opinion. But I'm also this fucking disgusting leftist who, has very different thoughts about how businesses should operate. But, that's something that's a completely different conversation. How goes the arc of Lost? 10K queue today. Didn't want to do your NA too much today, so I did some dailies, etc. All right. Man, still 10K. What do the Steam numbers look like?
Rank up.
Oh my god. Dimden! Hi, Fran. I can't type. Oh, there are no numbers currently for Elden Ring on Steam. I was like, where the fuck's Elden Ring on this top games list? Lost Ark's still #1 on Steam, though. 913,000 players right now. God damn. 940,000 players 12 minutes ago. The game is holding strong. Just hit 200 Makoko seeds. Congratulations. So I'm gonna play some Forbidden West after making a character on Elden Ring. Hey, Eve's playing this delightful triangle of video games of like, I want to play Horizon Forbidden West, I want to play Elden Ring, and I want to play Lost Ark. And all of them want all of my time. And Dimden did the disappearness to go play disappearness. That's not a word that people should say. That's not okay. Don't say the words disappearness, okay? He went to go play Rust. He went to go play a whole lot of Rust. Greeting. I was getting too sucked in and needed a break from it. So you went and got sucked in by something else instead? Or is it or is the argument that you genuinely can quit playing Rust like whenever you feel like, because you've already played enough Rust all the time? Live stream. Thank you and enjoy. I said pause, damn it. I hope to dip more with Forbidden West and Elden Ring. Want to do Elden Ring, but I want to play that without split focus. That's going to be hard. That game is long. Like, one of the other things that like made me think recently about like feeling better about not jumping on the Elden Ring bandwagon, especially not as part of Two Dead Dudes, is that it's a long game. It's got a lot of bosses, and we're coming on the very tail end of Neo 2, and it's fucking insane number of bosses, right? Like 56 bosses. So many. So many. I mean, I play Rust for fun, not the seriousness that I used to. Right. I mean, it wouldn't be much different than you dumping a bunch of time into, like, Apex. Like, it's a game to be entertained and fill time. It doesn't necessarily absorb your entire existence. The thing with Lost Ark is if I play nonstop, I will quit before I get to the good part of the game. So I'm taking breaks to not get bored. Sure. I mean, what? I feel like that's smart, because Tony did the opposite. Of he wanted to get to what he thought was the good part, and then raced there as fast as he possibly could, and then quit. And the sad thing is, he didn't even quite get to the good part. But I also don't think that he was aware of what Elden Ring was the same way that everyone else seemed to realize what it was. He wanted Elden Ring to be Diablo 4, and it's not. Not Elden Ring. Fuck. He wanted Lost Ark to be Diablo 4, and it's not. It's not Diablo 4. Where is my Cycle Frontier? It's in 11 days. It's 11 days away. The abbreviation you're looking for is this. The Cycle Frontier. But you good. Well, that makes one of us, Eve. I'm still looking forward to playing some more Cycle Frontier. I can understand why you wouldn't be, like, psyched about it, but I'm still very much looking forward to playing some more of it. There really is too much shit to play. There is too much. There is too much. Like, fucking Monarch came out, and I'm like, damn, I wanted to play that too. And then I got, like, Pokemon Legends Arceus that I want to play, and freaking Xenoblade. I managed to find an MSRP copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which was really difficult, by the way, given that as soon as Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out, physical copies of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 went up to like $100. And I was like, awesome. Fuck. I keep getting dicked by Nintendo fans when it comes to trying to be a patient gamer. How to go from 2021 with no good releases and then now just overloaded? Because 2021's release schedule is the one that got hit by the pandemic in 2020. And now all of the games that were supposed to be released in 2021 got moved to 2022. But a lot of the games that were supposed to be released in 2022 also got, like, completed in time for 2022. So you're getting 2 years worth of games in 1 year is essentially the way to look at it. I feel like this picture is just too good not to use. Such an eye-catching picture. Get it? Because it's an eyeball? Nintendo doesn't matter how patient you are there. Well, I mean, used copies of Nintendo games, especially, like, newer ones, will generally get cheaper, right? I wasn't waiting for Nintendo, like, for the closed-in box copies, because I wanted to buy physical, so I wasn't expecting the closed box copies to get down to like $30, but I was hoping eventually I could get like a used copy of a game for 30 to 45. But as soon as we were starting to hit the ability to do that with like 3 different games that I wanted to buy on the Switch, they announced a sequel to it, and then it went from being around like $40 to $100, and I was like, well, that sucks. Oh, my neck. Because they keep doing that shit to us, and it sucks. Just like that. Now I gotta do the other stuff, though, but Initially, I was wondering, like, man, how am I gonna, like, fit that face in there? Just make it bigger. It's staring into your very existence. I won't even lie. I found myself sitting in Rust on my phone scrolling TikTok more than playing, and I find myself that way with a lot of games right now. I think I've just played too much in general lately. I mean, a lot of us are using video games as a very genuine escape from the disgusting reality that is the world. So I'm not too surprised that a lot of us have just dived into video games as hard as possible to just not have to think about things. Because the world fucking sucks. Oh, that's the wrong one. So, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself there. I mean, and that's one of the reasons that I've been enjoying Lost Ark so much, is because it doesn't like require too terribly much from me, while still being able to just devour all of my time. And still giving me, like, what feels like a valuable exchange. In terms of, like, time investment versus payoffs. Go enjoy lunch. Lost Ark for you stresses you have to learn so fucking much. That's fair. You've not played a game like it at all before, whereas I've played several, so I've played lots of MMOs and lots of isometric action RPGs, so it's definitely, like, not stress for me whatsoever at all. No. I think I wanted orange? Yeah, give me orange. I don't want that yellow, though. No. Maybe blue? White? Yeah. There it is. It's like, fuck, what color go... What do we put in there? Found it. Oh, yeah. Check on Stream Raiders. I need to play some rogues. I need to play some stabby boys. Oh, there's nowhere to play stabby boys. That's okay. Place a shooty boy. Okay, so we're done with you. We're done with you. Oh, good lord, my neck's so crunchy. Jesus. said? No idea. So much to do, so little time. Greetings. Found it. And enjoy. So have you actually gotten like into Forbidden West, Eve, or are you still at the beginning of that too? Fine getting into it. I finished the prologue, got my first quest go here, and did a 180 and put like 4 or 5 hours into it. It's farther than I got into the first game. Oh, I know where they are. Just too many games to play. I completely forgot to fix that cut in my shoulder. Oh well. I think I like this one better. I'm not squinting as hard. I'll fix this one this time. It found another person. Photoshop, please select the subject of this layer. I found one. That's okay, I understand. They're much prettier than me. hell sound was that? It sounded like my phone was going off, but it wasn't. Hey, look. A shoulder. Do kind of like this one. I think stretched did probably look pretty good. See what else is in here, though. Grab these two. Play with these two. I guess I don't actually need to rename it. Oh. Lol. So I would sit kind of like that. No, I think this one's still definitely better. The orange is not it, though. All right. Let's get in here. I have no idea what to place. God, the enemies are so far away, too. I don't know what to play. I guess just hurry over there. I guess just because, like, I don't know where we're gonna go. So, all right. I wish us luck, but I'm not gonna watch. I can't watch. I'm gonna go get coffee. I'll be right back. Well, it worked out. 1 healer and 3 flag bearers, either of which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills to myself with 17, followed by Fender with 7, and then Athena with 3. Most assists to Athena with 9, followed by Fender with 3, and then El Canadiano with 1. The ball, the whatever you call the top of the hat on this hat is so perfectly in the wrong spot that my headset wants to push on it, and that's awful. It's terrible. I hate it. Remove my head, please. What is happening with this? What is happening? Hello, El Canadiano. It's nice to see you again as well. Are going random. El Canadiano with the healers, Athena with the flag bearers. Back to the map. How have you been? Ew. That's a lot of nasty no-nos. Struggling like me, that's very fair. It's very fair. I'll hold the front since I need to place tanks anyway. Actually, let's go like this. Yeah. And like this. And then like this. Then like this. And then if anyone needs something else, they can place it in the vibes. Like, I definitely can't say that I've been bad, but I can also definitely say that I have been better. Like, a lot better. They finally told us that we have to go back into the office too. Like that is actually happening now, which I'm like not on board for at all. It is stupid for multiple reasons, and I do not approve. So on Tuesday, because that is March 1st, will be our first day physically back in the office. I'm not looking forward to it, man. Not even a little bit. Such a waste of life and time and energy. Because, like, seriously, like, we've been doing our jobs from ranged remotely for 2 years, and it's like, what reason do you have that you want us to be physically in the office beyond that you just want us there? Like, do you have any other actual reason beyond just that you want us there for arbitrary reasons? The answer is no. It's because the people that run the place are old fogies that think that if they can't see you, that means you're not working. But I also don't know how that mindset also tracks for the last 2 years. To be fair, Alaska is number 4 in daily new cases. Daily cases have been going down across the board, and even Alaska's number a fraction of either Delta. Yeah, well, okay, let's not. I don't think we can use the Omicron peak as an example of, like, what we should use as a comparison when on a nationwide scale for America, we are breaking 1 million cases a day. And even at one point, we almost hit 1.5 million cases in one day. I don't think that's what we want to use as a comparison for, like, well, you know, this is how bad it, like, could have been. Like, but no, I do understand that cases are going down. But much like we saw throughout the pandemic, just because they are going down doesn't necessarily mean that you should try to return to whatever it is you're trying to return to. Mostly because, like, that's what makes the cases keep going back up, is like everyone's like, oh, they're going down, we can open things up. And then, well, not that anything's closed right now, but then it went down, and then they like released, you know, restrictions and stuff, and then that meant everyone wasn't caring anymore, and it sent it right back up. Like, you have to keep it under control until it, you know, until it's actually like resolved, because otherwise it won't be. That doesn't actually look yellow. That looks more yellow. But even all that aside, I'm still just grumpy because, like, we have so many people that don't want to go into the office, and then you got all these people that are, I say all these people. You have the old people at the very top that are like, it's time to return to the office. For too long have I not been able to lord over you. But then you ask them if there's been any problem with, like, work product or efficiency or accuracy, and they're like, no, work's been great. It's like, okay, then what's your point? I just want to see you. Would this look better if the colors were inverted? It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look how I want it to look either. Those colors just have such an intense, like, they do contrast, but not in the way that we want them to contrast. It's weird. The company opened the Seattle office in January, and the Calgary office is opening March 1st. They're only allowing people to return if they want. People like me, I'm still work from home because there isn't a Toronto office. But now the question comes, if they open a Toronto office, or when they get one, are they going to expect you to go into the office? I doubt they would expect one. That's good. Yeah, the other problem that like, the state of Alaska is having a lot of issues employment-wise lately, because it used to be that state employment was something that was sought after because it was... So if this is what the going rate is for a service, the state of Alaska would be right here. But the difference between these two is that you'll make slightly less money, but you'll have a more secure position. You'll generally have better benefits. You'll generally work less hours. So you'll make slightly less for higher quality of life. But now, if we put everywhere else, the private sector here, the state of Alaska's like down here. And when the state of Alaska, so like the pay differential is so extreme. If a position with the state of Alaska pays $45,000 a year, you can probably get $70,000 to $90,000 a year for that same position in the private sector. Like, it's no longer a trade-off anymore. You're just getting a worse deal. And then when the private sector is modernizing so quickly in response to the pandemic, and they are more looking at allowing, like, that's one of the things that people search for now is higher quality of life stuff, right? Is higher quality of life within what their job gives them. And that includes things like remote work. And the state is pushing back against remote work so hard, and they're losing people because of it. Like the people are like, no, if I can't work from home full time, I quit. And then you got, and then the leadership's like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. State government is pretty much not being able to compete with the private sector. It's not at all. There's actually a bill right now in the Alaska State Legislature that is trying to update the pay schedules for the state, for not all state positions, but for certain ones, because it is so uncompetitive. Like, it doesn't compete at all. It doesn't compete so much that within my own section of the state, we have had, like, I'm going to say like 3 or 4 positions open for months. And the number of applications that we've received, 0. It's not even like there's just not very many applications to where you're like, man, we're just not getting good candidates. We are not getting applications for our positions at all. So it's not even like, do we need to settle for someone that's not quite what we wanted? There's nobody to pick from. Nobody's applying because that's how uncompetitive it is. Like, not offering modernized work environments such as like teleworking and not having a competitive pay scale means that we are actively just not getting applicants, which is very odd for state employment, because most of the supervisors are used to having to sort through the pile of applications to try and find the few candidates that they actually might want to talk to, right? It's not the case. Then they've been quite shocked that 0 people are applying, which, I mean, like, I'm even surprised that the number is actually 0. I could see if the number was low instead of the dozens to 100 plus applications that the state of Alaska used to get for a lot of its job openings, because, like, I had to fight through back when I started 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I had to fight through a lot of application process to get into the state, because it was still a wanted thing then. But in that 8 years, it's just become what it is now. I've heard rumors for a while that they will purchase some co-working space for us because there's actually a decent contingent here. That's one of the things that they were discussing with us too, like, and is that initially they were trying to, like, work with the pushback, and I feel like they've just given up. But instead of giving up and just letting people work from home full time, they went the other direction and doubled down and dug their heels in, because initially the conversation was, if you want to work from home more days of the week, if you don't work in the office 3 days a week, you won't get your own office. You'll have to coordinate and share space with somebody else, right? So what, that might mean, like, okay, I'll be in the office, in this office on Monday and Thursday, and you'll be in the office on Tuesday and Wednesday in that same office, and we just can't come in on the same days because we'll share that space, right? But then they like started trying to move away from that. They're like, but you're not allowed to telework more than 3 days. So your options were telework 3 days a week and not have an office, or only telework at least 2 days a week and get your own office. And so for people like me, I was like, if I'm gonna have to be there anyway, I'll be there 1 extra day a week and keep my office, right? Like, no. And then they've pushed back more on that and more on that, because what the upper leadership ultimately wants, they just want everyone in there 5 days a week. But they have agreed to let most people have 2 days a week at home, but we'll see how long that actually holds out. What they're doing in the offices in Calgary and Seattle, and they only have half the office space. And that's one of the other things. It's like, wouldn't it save you money to let people work from home? Like, everyone's talking about being all budget conscious and shit, and it's like, wouldn't it make more sense then to not pay for all the fucking office space that you're paying for? They don't care, though. They don't care, though. I do really think that regardless of cases going down, I think that they should have waited until April. There's a very specific reason for that, is because we saw the largest spike in cases after Christmas, right? Everyone got together for Christmas. Everyone gave each other COVID, and then cases in... I'm looking at the United States specifically. I assume this trend is relatively similar in most other countries because that's just... It's normally not as severe in some instances, but it's generally similar in most other instances. After Christmas, we had this huge, massive spike, right? Took forever to go down, and then we're to the point that we're at now. And we're going back to work 4 days before spring break starts. And I would not be surprised at all if we go to, like spring break happens, and then a week after spring break, cases go... Because everyone went out and got together for spring break, and that was it, right? And now you're back in having this awkward situation where cases are high, and then you have to have that question of, well, we brought everyone back in. Do we want to send them back home now or something else? But I don't feel like they were thinking ahead anyway in that capacity, because they've wanted us to be back in the office for like a year and a half now, and then just like haven't been able to sufficiently create the argument, and they're getting so much heat now from higher up that it's even harder for them to like manage. But I just see it not going well after spring break because people are stupid. So yeah, that was also part of the mental battle this week, was because I got back into Alaska on Tuesday and was recovering on Wednesday, and finally got a full day of sleep Wednesday night, and was still feeling pretty out of it on Thursday. And then Thursday into Friday is when that whole conversation with work happened, and that was not good for my mental health. Like, at all. Especially because it was, like, such short notice of, like, we'll see you Tuesday. And, well, actually, we heard through the grapevine that it wasn't going to be renewed, and then they sent out the email Saturday morning that we were coming back on Tuesday. And I'm like, you guys are fucked. They sent out the email on Saturday morning. And the only reason I know that is because I was suspect that they were going to do that. And so I checked my... I stop work at 5 o'clock, and I don't work on the weekends, right? Like, I am not one of those people. The only exception is that is sometimes I'll leave my work email open, literally just because I forget to close it. And if I see an email come in that I can quickly answer, I'll answer it. If my boss doesn't normally ever message me outside of work hours, and if they do, it is because they genuinely hope that I will check it, and it's normally a quick question and answer of like, oh my god, I'm sorry to bother you. Do you know anything about this XYZ? And I don't mind those, right? Because they work schedules that I don't, and if it's something small like that, I'll happily answer. But I went ahead and intentionally checked my work email midday Saturday because I had a feeling that they were going to do that they were either going to send out that email after close of business on Friday, or what they did, which was send it out at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. And I'm like, man, you guys are shitty. You guys are really shitty. So, like, what's going to happen, though, is that everyone that didn't think that was going to happen and didn't check their email this weekend, or even the people that did, are going to get to work on Monday or open their, get to their home computers on Monday of working from home, and one of the emails they're going to have on Monday is an email that says you need to come into the office tomorrow. And I'm sure that's going to go real well. I'm sure that will have absolutely zero issues and will just be a nice, super happy, fun time conversation for everybody involved. Absolutely. There's no way it could be anything but that. Right? Right? Okay, I don't want this one. I think I like this one. Let me check this one. Yeah, I like this one. Give me this one. Oh! So yeah. That's been a joy. And then, like, I have to talk to Athena and figure out, like, what that means in terms of our schedules for, like, life. Because having to go physically into the office definitely changes a lot of things in terms of, like, the routine. As much as I fucking hate that, I really like the routine I have. I'm a very, like, routine-oriented person anyway. Like, man, it is difficult for me to adjust when something throws my routine out of whack. It is jarring. Hey, buddy. Hello, Dark. Welcome, Raiders. Hello, I am Raid. Hi, Eve. Hi, friends. Welcome, Dark. I hope you had a good stream. I welcome you back to the world of streaming. Dead Warlock. Lol. I was like, wait, how did it not? I swear I did that right. No, I didn't. There we go. You were playing Lost Ark. I believe it. Welcome. It was pretty good. I'm glad that you are getting back into the swing of things, friend. How was the grind? I placed her in Zipweez, not mine. I meant to place her in mine. What does she need to place? She needs to place tanks. Okay. 5 hours of no drop frames. That's a good day. That's a good day. We like that. Got to 530 gear score and 12 island souls. Very nice. I'm up to 490 now, I think, is my gear score. 493? Something like that. I don't know how many island souls I have, though. Man, it's going to be so hard to have a decent fucking picture for this thumbnail because this game, when we were checking it out, it's like, man, this game is the blurriest fucking game we had ever seen. Like, all of the entire footage. Like, you see how blurry this is? I don't know if it's coming through okay on the stream, but, like, it was... Everything in the video was so blurry. Like, you see how blurry this fucking shit is? You see it? There we go. Zoom in. It's not like this is a low-quality JPEG. That's just what everything looked like. Everything looked like this. Just blur. So much blur. It was the most blurry mess. And it didn't even look like that good of a blurry mess. Just take this one. Going page by page, completing the islands I can, getting all the Makoko seats and all. I tried to do an island, and then I was told that I wasn't allowed to do the island. And I was really annoyed also that I wasn't allowed to do the island, because I looked up, like, I needed honing materials. And so I looked up honing, like, a way to get, like, what's the best way to grind honing materials? And the answer was do some islands. And I was like, oh, okay. And they gave, like, a list of islands of, like, these ones are short, easy to complete islands that give a pretty decent amount of reward. You can finish all of these islands in, like, 3 hours, and you should have a decent amount of materials. And one of them sounded easy, except one, like, the quest line there wants me to go to an island that I'm not allowed to go to, because until you do a certain quest line at a certain gear score, you can't sail into the western seas. You're just not able to. Like, there's a literal barrier that won't let you sail into the west. And one of the it wants you to go to 3 different islands at, like, to check off a box, and one of them's in the west. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not an easy island to get to then. This would be easy if it wasn't for the fact that I literally cannot go there. So yeah, that sucks. That's going to be about as good as this gets, because, yeah. There was not, like, I was even thinking back to when we did the reaction, there was not good, like, any good screens or footage or anything to pull it through. You know what one I'm talking about, Eve? It's called, like, White Wind Island, or maybe it was Golden Wind Island. I don't. It was one of the. It was either White Island or Gold Island. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Is it White Wind? Okay. Of course, now all I'm thinking of is freaking Final Fantasy, since that's a blue mage spell in, like, every Final Fantasy that has blue mage spells. That at least looks okay. Did I tell this to, like, go? Or is it done already? It's done already. Okay. Those are all done. Well, those are all done with that side of it. White Wave. Ah, okay. Is it White Wave and Golden Wind? Is that what it is?
It's time for bed. Haven't had a day off since the week before you went to bro's wedding. Streamed for 20 hours in the last 3 days. Do you have a day off today? Or are you just saying that you just still don't have a day off? Like, because I could see either of those being accurate. Like, I still don't have a day off, so I need to go to bed. Or I actually have a day off, so I'd like to go to bed. No, no day off. Never. You need some more days off, friend. Won't get one till next month. Well, next month's not very far away, so you know. Did I finish typing that in? Let me type this in real quick, and then we'll run the battle. Shit, what am I doing? Wanted dead. Well, good thing next month is in 2 days. When is your actual next day off? Just because you said next month doesn't actually mean you get the day off in like a day. It could mean that you get the day off in like 3 weeks. Can I get that bomber and that artillery? I can't. Oh, no, not haste. I meant for that to be high ground. Oh, well. It's too late now. You're going to go real fast right where you're standing. Told Blastman you're taking your birthday off. I'm not asking for permission. I will just not be there. That's what you unfortunately have to do with certain jobs. Is you just have to be like, I don't think you understand. I won't be here. Figure it out. Yeah, we'll still manage. We'll still manage just fine. It was just like unfortunate that I didn't realize what I was doing. It's fine. You still took, you know, top honors, El Canadiano. 20 gold. It could be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills to El Canadiano with 38, followed by AP10 with 21, and then Athena with 6. Most assists to El Canadiano with 10, followed by a tie between Athena Latina and AP10 with 6, and then myself with 2. Going grand, I'm on the gold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. El Canadiano with the gold. Back to the map. How much gold do you still have, El Canadiano? Have you started buying your extra duplicates? Or have you just been like, nah, I'll just operate with what I got and still sit on my massive mountain of scrolls and gold? Next Friday, so not March 4th, but March 11th, you have a guaranteed day off. Ew. Artemis, what do you do? All ranged units have infinite range. Ranged units mark enemies when attacking. Marked units take a 100% increased damage and taunt nearby enemies to attack them. That affects all units, though? Okay. I feel like we want to squish over here as much as we can. I feel like we want to do something kind of like this. It's a bomber musketeer map, and you can spread. Really? Okay. Maybe go like that. I'm still not entirely sure what day it is anymore. Yeah, I don't blame you for not knowing what day it is, Dark. Your schedule would make it hard to keep track of days.
because you work. What is your actual shift, like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. or something like that? That would be such a difficult shift to work all of the time to have any idea what days are. Like, that would be so difficult to have any awareness. I wouldn't have any. My B-Day stream off is the 4th. Ah, okay. So this coming Friday, then. In like 5 days. Yeah, El Canadiano, I heard that this event, when it first started, was... What? SB? Live? I don't know what that means. I've also heard, though, that it's been made a lot more approachable. Super Boss next? Sure. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. That tracks, Eve. Thanks. I wasn't logicking that one goodly. They've made the event easier twice. Yeah, that's what I heard, that it wasn't... Because we've had really difficult events in the past, but it was difficult for specific captains, right? Like, there was a couple of events that were, like, really difficult for the super big captains, and a couple of events that were difficult for the really little captains, depending on different mechanics or enemy abilities and stuff like that. But I heard that this one was just hard for everybody, and that nobody could do it. Because it was just so difficult. Where is the old atomic heart reaction that it was number 8? It was number 8? That, wow. Feel old yet? No. Not really. Not really. Thankfully. Thankfully, I don't. After the first nerd, affiliate level captains up could at least win some games, but the really small guys still struggled. When the event started, I have a player who permanent plays offlines like Eve used to, and I do. Usually if you offline or stream, you have 4 or 5 hours you can make it past a map. For him, it took him 12 hours, and he didn't make it. Man. That's gross. Oh, my neck. Good lord. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Like we have discussed many times in the past, it makes me genuinely curious and wonder on a very significant level, like, how do they test these? Like, what type of internal testing, if any, do they actually do for a lot of this stuff? Here we go. Okay, that's all ready. I can't upload it while streaming. Don't have the bandwidth for that, unfortunately. I mean, I technically could, but there's no way that, at least that I'm aware of, to tell YouTube or whatever. Like, if I try to upload a video, right? So, like, I have a 75 megabit connection up right now, of which the stream is using 5,000 of that 75,000. So that leaves 70,000 left, relatively speaking, right? Like, you normally don't get your absolute maximum amount of bandwidth from your internet service provider. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. But my internet service provider guarantees, I think it was 66% of your plan is what is supposed to be guaranteed. Hang on, now I have to double check. Function calculator. 50 times 0.66. Yeah. 65%. So that would mean that 75 times 0.65 is... So we should be getting around 48.75 megabits per second on our upload at all times, without it ever going lower than that. Of that, only 5 of which we'll put it up to 7.5 is dedicated to the stream, right? So that would mean 40 megabits is left over. But the problem is that when I tell YouTube, like, here's a video, I don't know if it's a setting on my computer or a setting for YouTube or whatever I would need to do, but it's just like it tries to take all of it, which is normally good, right? And as long as you're not trying to do anything. But if I'm trying to do something like stream, I can't like try to upload a video at like 20 megabits and like still leave that room, right? It'll just take everything, in which the case the stream doesn't work anymore, which is really unfortunate because like I could be even heavy multitask harder, but I don't have that option, unfortunately. But anyway, so that's all done. We still have a lot to sort out though, because with me having to go physically back into the office, I don't know what that means for me. Because it means that, well, I don't have access to a lot of my computer stuff. So, I don't know. Okay, that stuff's all done, though. Is there anything else that I needed to do right now? When does Stranger of Paradise actually release? March 10th? March 18th. Okay. Forspoken's May 25th. Have we heard anything else about Ever Crisis? (2022). Okay. We should be hearing the first bits about Ever Crisis soon then. Maybe in like May or June. Gotta get those Forspoken sales first, though. Things that I want to do, things that I need to do, things that are difficult to figure out what to do because of the time. I need to figure out what it means in terms of time moving forward. Let's work on a logo. Actually, let's do. I know what I should do. I need to look at everything that I want to do. That's what I need to do. Because the reality is that I want to do everything. And I can't. And I hate it. There is so much that I want to do. So many projects that I want to start that I just can't. I hate Ariel. Not the mermaid, the font.
So let's try to get an idea. Because I have a lot of projects. What the fuck is this? I have a lot of projects that are in my head that I've never actually gotten truly out of my head. And I feel like if I get them out of my head to a spot that I can at least, like, see them in some way, that will be helpful. I like that color green. Okay. Let's look at the projects that we already have. So we have Tactical Tuesday, which I'm gonna rename again because I don't like Teamwork Tuesday. I like that. I like that better. Type. Cooperative live stream. No. Stream. Summary. Tuesday streams live with friends. Active. Yes. Two dead dudes. Stream. Thursday Soulsian streams. Active. Yes. Power couple. Stream. Friday. JRPGs. With Athena. Active. Yes. Spoopy Saturdays. Stream. Spoops with Athena. Her channel. Active. Yes. Sunday Creative. Stream. Summary. Morning administrative work. Active. Yes. Reactions. Video. YouTube reactions recorded on Tuesday, Thursday streams. I need text wrap. Go away, please. Format. Wrapping. Wrap. Thank you. Active. Yes. What is going to be called Swan Dive? Formerly First Impression. Video. YouTube. Opening impression reviews of media. Active. Sorta. Sorta. Die Talk. Videos. YouTube. Discussion focused videos. Active. No. You were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you
close by the storming seas, oh, you meant the world to me.
It's like I've never heard about that one. It's still in my channel intro for YouTube. It was one of the 2 series that I was gonna do. I just never got around to doing it. Okay. So those are the ones that are currently genuinely exist in some form. In some form or way. Okay. So now we go. I haven't watched that since I started watching. That's fine. No, that's okay. I need a new channel intro anyway. Okay. So now we're going to get into all the other shit that I want to do. AA. Anime analysis. Alcoholics Anonymous. No. Anime analysis. Writing. And video. Website column / maybe YouTube video. Anime episode review breakdown. No. This is technically has space on the website already built for it. Anime Analysis does. I just haven't actually turned the website on, and I haven't figured out where this fits in the schedule yet. NFT, also known as News for Today. Video. Potential TikTok series or YouTube. General or focused news. No. I love the idea of doing this. I want to start the series called NFT, News for Today, because here's one of the things, by the way. If you put the letters NFT or a hashtag NFT in like a tweet or on anything, all of the fucking NFT fucks, it's automatically blasted out to all of the NFT fucks, right? They all just jerk each other off anytime anyone mentions anything NFT. And you could even play around with this, right? Because you could be like hashtag gaming NFT, which is another hot topic, especially with fucking shit like Ubisoft and all these other companies trying to cash in on the literal fake free money that is made off of NFTs. And so you could like just do gaming news, but call it Gaming News for Today and get so much free publicity out of it. Like, I genuinely want to do this too. Even if I didn't stick with it, it's literally just to fucking cheese those assholes. I hate NFTs. Fuck NFTs. NFT also stands for no fucking thanks. What's the actual definition of the word retroactive? Taking effect from a date in the past. I'm glad you like that, El Canadiano. I fucking love it. It's great. I want to do it so bad.
Just because I also really like talking about news of all kinds. Like, one of my longest running series that was also probably, I would probably say my most successful one, was a series called I Read It. And it was literally just a fucking news show. Like, it was just a news show. And stuff like that. And Shapiro
Nathan
just lost his shit. Just completely lost it. Going in to say that you
because he can't handle it.
No, he can't. What's even funnier is, like, I miss doing this show so much. From somebody who's not actually in that direction, like, not actually from the side that Ben Shapiro's against. Like, I genuinely miss doing this show. Are what keep them from vaccinating. They're deeply held religious beliefs.
That people online pushing anti-vax movements are usually Russian trolls, right?
Okay.
Well, Russia had banned Jehovah's Witnesses as a cult.
When was this?
Out of Russia.
May 12th, 2019.
Yeah, so that makes me think. Makes me wonder.
Someone else I know that does podcasting, he has a very similar segment. The NFT idea? Or are you talking about just news in general? This originally was a podcast that then got built out to be a live stream as well. We didn't stream on Twitch, though. We streamed on Facebook and YouTube. This news segment, this was actually the whole show. The way that I Read It was built, if you know me, you're gonna be amazed. The name is a literal pun. The name is a pun. The name of the show is a fucking pun. And it's like a triple pun too. And I'm so angry at myself, but it was too good to not fucking use. Hang on. I don't know what's in here. Nothing. Okay. So if we go like this, go like this, go like this. Let's put this up to like fucking 24. So you have the website Reddit. Okay? What do? You read Reddit. And with all of the Apple shit, anything Apple is iPod, iPad. So you have I Reddit, but it's capitalizing this because of it's trying to be helpful. But instead of I read it, it is I read it. 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 That was the name of the show. I hate it so much, but it was too good to not use because it was just such a perfect compound of all of this shit. So dumb. So dumb. It's so dumb, but God, I fucking love it still. That's a pun that I like. We'll buff all you guys. Well, actually, the only range unit over there, we'll buff these ones. But yeah, the way that the show actually worked is that it started out as being a weekly show, and then we kept ramping it up, and that might have been the reason that we actually ended up stopping, is we just ramped it up too far, I guess. I don't know. One problem with this, they're not targeting the enemies closest to them. Okay, watching the bombers huck bombs that fast across the map is hilarious. Anyway, so the way that the show worked is that we would go onto Reddit, because Reddit is a little bit left-leaning, but if you look at Reddit as a whole, it's just a good source of information. It's not necessarily a good source of discussion, but most information will find its way onto Reddit in one way or another. And so we would go onto Reddit, and I don't think I actually have the presets anymore, but essentially we'd go onto Reddit, go onto our all, go onto top, go into the top Reddit post for the last 24 hours, or when it was a weekly show, we'd go top Reddit post from the past week, right? Whichever one, it would still work either way. You go to the last 24 hours, and then what we would do is we just go down the list, not literally one for one. We'd go down the list of the top Reddit posts for the last 24 hours and find the news topics. Like, we would go, like this is just, a picture of everyone protesting in Bern, Switzerland. That's not a news, like, it is news, but it is not a news topic. It doesn't have an article or anything attached with it. This is the Ukrainian president, more of the Ukrainian president. A lot of this is going to be information regarding Ukraine and Russia. And during a situation like this, actually, we would probably make the episode just that. We would grab a bunch of information about Russia invading Ukraine, the Ukrainian resistance and all of that, and that would just be the show. But not every week. No, not every month, not every week, just every month is there a massive world event, right? And so we'd go down here and we would grab the top 10 news topics and if there were duplicates or like things that were connected, we'd nest them underneath the same piece. So like if, like for instance, like they killed a Russian general, right? I saw that in here and it was talked about yesterday as well. If there was like two different articles talking about it and they had different information or like different pieces of information, we'd slot them together and then we put them together. And that's how we would build our news segment. Well, actually the news show. And it would just be the top 10 pieces of news from the internet. And it could be, it was amazing how wild and varied it would get, because on you're getting all of Reddit, right? It's everything. Right now, of course, lots of Russia, but we had a lot of variants. Last battle is a good reminder. Archers, bombers always target an armor unit if it's within range, whereas musketeers target range units. Makes sense. El Canadian on the vampire. So yeah, that's how we built the show, and it was an immense amount of fun. And it let us talk about everything. What do you do, Athena? Melee units gain 100% damage and 100% attack speed. Melee units will deal 1,000 extra damage. Every time the unit gains a kill or assist, this bonus is blocked for 10 seconds. What? So melee's the play? Sort of? Rem smash. I don't know. This one is don't die to a melee. Do tanks have a purpose? Do we even put... I guess they have a couple of ranged units. Place units, everybody. But yeah, that's how we built the show. And we would read the articles before we started the show, like so that we had already read them ahead of time. And then we would have a discussion about it. And initially it wasn't live, and then we moved it live, and then we started to have a discussion live with chat regarding the topics that were being presented. And it was a lot of fun. And I really like talking about the news. A lot. And I miss this show. And I still would like some sort of outlet to talk about the news. But I don't have time to do everything. Okay. I need to play some units. Hold on. Although it was really funny. One time we had, we'd occasionally have guests on the show, like, and it wasn't anyone like, meaningful or anything like that, but we'd occasionally have guests on the show because we wanted people with more perspectives than just what me and Nathan had, right? And, Sombra. I see some little healer slots in there. Oh, never mind. They started the battle. They started that battle early. That said 14 minutes. Anyway. Get another epic bomber. Boom. What was I saying?
Oh yeah, we had somebody join the show, and afterwards, like after we got done with the show and stuff, we were talking to everybody. We were talking to the guests and stuff. There was 2 of them. I don't remember anything about them at all anymore. I know that they were another group of podcasters and stuff. And after the show, they're like, I really like your guys' dynamic because you got like Nathan over there who's like really left leaning, and then you keep Nathan in check by having Schwan on the show who's more right leaning. And me and Nathan just practically like looked at each other just in massive bewilderment of like, are we talking about that guy? Were you in the same conversation that all of the rest of us were? 'Cause I don't know if you know what you're talking about. I don't remember who it was anymore, El Canadiano. I know the episode is in there somewhere because they were a guest on the show. That conversation is not part of the recording, though, because it was after the show was over. But we were so confused because we just could not fathom. And I was like, what did I say that made them think this? What made you think that that is correct? The only thing that we could think of is that I would generally present the news article, and I would try to present it as unbiased as possible. Like here is the news, and then immediately afterwards we would inject our own opinions. And so the only thing I can think of is because initially I was trying to present something in an unbiased way that they took that as me being like right-leaning. We were so perplexed. We could not understand it in the slightest. I think you're more right-leaning than me, although not actually right-leaning. I think you're definitely more left of center. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty far left. I'm not radical left, but I mean, I am by America's spectrum. I am radically left and proud of it because I think that people deserve things like food and shelter and healthcare without having to, do anything necessarily for it. I think that children shouldn't have to wear clear backpacks to school or armored backpacks to school. Radical, right? I know. Schwan right-leaning, and how much left is the other dude? Is his back okay? And me and Nathan are actually probably about the same amount of left. We're probably about the same amount of left, but in different ways. I never noticed at first. You have a skunt hat. Are you talking about this one? A scout hat? This is actually, fun fact, this is actually the very, very first snapback style hat that I ever owned. And it was a gift to me from my friend Bryce. I didn't wear it very often because I'm not a huge Team Fortress fan. I'm really not. But I think it was the Eevee hat that I've worn on occasion. It's also, the Eevee hat's probably one of my most comfortable hats. That's the one I think that I got that, or maybe it was one of the, no, it was actually probably one of the Derby hats that Athena commented about how much she likes me in this style hat. And then after that, I bought 80 of them. It's a skunt. Hang on. Team Fortress skunt. Skunt. Skunts are types of scouts that are extremely easy to notice due to their cosmetics. Wait, why? Like I said, not a Team Fortress fan, but I love the Team Fortress animations that they do with the characters. I know it's part of like some program, but they do some hilarious ass shit. I never heard it called a skunt, but I also, like I said, the only time I played Team Fortress was when I think I played maybe, I'm going to guess 10 hours total of it. I'm going to guess I played 10 hours total of Team Fortress as part of the orange box that I got so that I could play Portal. Which, shouldn't that be in my Steam? This says I never played it, but I don't know if that was back when things were tracked or not. Yeah, there's no playtime for Portal either, so. But that was also back. That might Orange Box might have actually been before Steam. How old is Steam? When did Steam launch? September 12th, 2003. Orange Box. 2007. Okay, so Steam was already out. I don't know if it was on PC, though. I might have gotten Orange Box on PlayStation 3. Dude, I literally don't remember anymore. That's way too... That's like way too many years. That's like all of the years ago. I don't know anymore. I know I got Orange Box. And I played Team Fortress 2 a little bit on Orange Box. But mostly Portal. But I don't remember what system it was on. I'm not even sure how old my Steam account is. Is there a way to check Steam account age? How old is my Steam account? This ID? It's on your badge. It is? "12 years of service. Member since October 24th, 2009. Okay. I think I remember the very first Steam game I bought too. It would be in here. Here it is. This was the first game that I bought on Steam. Audio Surf. They made an Audio Surf too? This was the first game that I played or bought on Steam was Audio Surf. Steam Deck. I get mine in like 5 months or whatever. I'm part of the second batch of people. Because the first batch sold out immediately. Alright, well that was a fun journey. Okay. I actually really need... I didn't go use the restroom or refill my coffee during any of those other battles, so I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back, and we'll talk about other projects that I want to do. Hey-oh. Okay. Next. I don't know what to call this. Like, writing. Let's break this into a few different pieces, okay? Because there's probably... Okay, first, this. Writing. Write your goddamn novels. No, it's not active right now. Okay. And what this is that, so before the pandemic, in the before times, in the fucking before times, I was working on a novel. One of my greatest, like, dreams in life is to, so in terms of, like, life accomplishments, okay? In terms of life accomplishments, I have achieved most of the things that I wanted to achieve in my life. Will I ever actually be satisfied in life? No, will not, right? There will always be more I want to do, more I want to experience, more I want to create, more I want to play, more I want to watch, more I want to read, more I want to enjoy. There is always more, and I will never feel like there is enough time to enjoy and do everything that I want to enjoy and do, right? There's not. However, there are major life things that are like check boxes in terms of, like, these are things that I genuinely want to achieve in my life and have wanted to achieve them for a long time. 1, happily married. Check. 2, family. Check. 3, own my own home. Amazingly, check. That happened about a little over a year ago. Amazingly. Didn't look like that was going to happen. That one managed to happen. Check. Okay. Number 4, relatively successful, like, work, right? Check. I have a decent job. 5th and final one, have a traditionally published novel. That's the last one. Also one of the more difficult ones. And there's a reason that it's the check mark is also traditionally published, because you can easily throw out 55,000 words of sheer fuck garbage and self-publish it through any self-publishing channel and be like, look, my name is on a book that sucks and nobody bought, and I can't get it on store shelves because I self-published it. Traditional publishing, you generally have a little bit better shot. Not necessarily making money, but at least then it's a more real thing, right? So, yeah, that is the last major check mark for me of things that I genuinely want to accomplish. And before the pandemic, I had gotten about 50,000 words written on one of the novels that I want to write. There's a lot of them that I want to write, but there was one that I was working on that I had about 50,000 words done on. Then the pandemic hit, and I lost almost all creative motivation and drive and discipline and energy for anything at all ever. And I started multiple projects like the ones up here that kind of started slow and worked up to where we're at now. But throughout all that time, my drive to write, my push for prose didn't return. And it was late last year that it actually did start to return. And actually on the trip back from visiting Athena's family, I actually, on the plane, I cranked out like 4,100 words and was very surprised and happy that I had managed to put any words down, let alone that many. So that needs to find its way back. Let's put growing in some form. But there's more writing than I want to do than that. One of the things I've always wanted to do all my life, ever since I was a small kid, was write books. And I'm not doing it, damn it. And I should. Oh, coffee good. Coffee real good. Okay. Next. Segmented short stories. Writing. While this is great, right? Writing a novel is great. Takes a long time. It's a lot of work. One of the problems with novelization in general, with trying to put out prose, is that it has very little satisfaction, very little payoff until like the very, very end, right? And even then, you're still rolling a dice on if you even get payoff. It's one of the reasons that like the Arttober, I'm not going to use the other word that people have used because the person that's behind the other word that is used for the art drive in October, they're not a good person, and I don't want to use their term anymore because they're a terrible person. But anyway, Arttober is what I'm going to use instead. Art, you can do a doodle. Now, I am not saying this in a way that is meant to discredit the efforts or the talent of artists, okay? Art, you can doodle something in 10 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, however long you want to spend on it. You post it up on Twitter and Instagram. Everyone goes, that's cool. Like, you can absorb a good amount of a piece of visual art in seconds and go, like, this was really cool. I love what you did with this, right? And so there's a lot of payoff that can be found for visual artists. When it comes to writers and authors, it is hard as fuck to get somebody to even be willing to spend the 3 minutes it might take to read a like 1.5 page short story, right? Which is one of the reasons that NaNoWriMo, National November Writing Month, or whatever the fuck, National Novel Writing Month, is a terrible idea. Like, you're supposed to, like, the idea is that NaNoWriMo was created as a response to Arttober, and it was like, oh man, artists get this whole month where they're just praised. So what if we did the same thing for people that like to write stories, and they try to write at least a 30,000 word novel in November? But here's the problem with that, is that, the one, that's 1,000 words a day. That's a good, like, goal, but that's not necessarily how it works. And the other thing is that then you gotta get people to read it. And it's hard enough to get people to read 300 words, let alone 30,000. However, that doesn't mean people don't try anyway, and I commend them all the well for trying. But writing a 75,000 to 100,000 word novel, going through the process of editing that, getting it published, getting it on store shelves, getting it bought, and getting it into people's hands and getting them to read it, is not necessarily great for one's, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-worth is not the word that I want. Ego is not the word that I want. I don't know what word. I hope that the word that I'm looking for translates through in some form. But one thing that I would like to try to do for myself and for those that might be interested in it. Who messaged me? Oh, okay. Is that I would like to, as part of trying to fuel my drive to keep working on this, is to work on this, which would be short stories, but not necessarily short stories that just are meant to begin and end, right? Like, because there's a difference between, let me put it this way, actually. Instead of segmented, serialized short stories. So think of, like, for example, think of how popular, like, Webtoons is right now. Webtoons is fucking huge, right? Which, again, power to the artists that are able to maintain these fucking Webtoons, right? Of that they are... Can I open this, or will you be upset? Hopefully this isn't porn.
that they are essentially, I didn't say infinitely, but they are continuously scrollable comics or manga, depending on how you feel about it and style and stuff like that. And they tell a story, right? And this is much easier viewing on the phone because you're literally scrolling instead of me doing what is happening. Anyway, I might have clicked on a bad one. So, and you just keep scrolling, and they do the art as though it was manga panels, but instead of being manga panels, it is this continuous scroll, and it stays in this format. This is blown up. This is fucking huge, right? Webtoons and things like it. There's a few other competitions that are competitors that are very similar in the same way. And instead of needing the manga panel formatting that you find on paper pages, it's this formatting of this just continuous scroll. And these are huge. These are great. This person has really great art, man. This is fucking beautiful. This is fucking gorgeous. Anyway, but I wanted to do something kind of like this, but with I'm not an artist, but with writing and short stories instead. And it could even end up being a long story, but a story that is told in bits. Because like this manga or series or webtoon or whatever you actually call these, you can see here that it is in bits and pieces. It's in episodes, essentially, and they just keep going from there. And grow and push forward, and, you know, there's this whole culture that's built around webtoons. And I would like, you can use, like, this is such a good hub for that, and there might be something that's good for this as well. Like, what is it? AO3 is, I know, a very popular, like, writing website. Thank you. I have not looked too closely into it in terms of, like, what's all in here. I think a lot of it is actually fan fiction. Nothing wrong with fan fiction, but I do believe that a lot of it is built around that. There's one piece of writing for Fantasia. And it is naughty. Soft smut. I think a lot of the stuff on here is, I don't know. I've not dived too deep into AO3, but I do believe it is a place where a lot of this stuff lives. Reno being a little shit. Compilation of Final Fantasy VII. But anyway. So, yeah, that's the idea here. Oh my god, that's a lot of tags. What is this? Anyway. So, yeah, something along those lines. Episodic short stories, website, blog, Twitter, etc. One of the things that I did want to do as well, if I was more successful anyway and had more income coming in, one of the things that I would want to do is hire an artist to do like a really rough sketch. Like really, like this kind of line work, right? Like super rough sketches of things. That is not what I'd call a rough sketch, but you know, of stuff like this, right? Of scenes within the short stories, because the smallest bit of visual attachment can make things be a bit more appealing to people that might not otherwise click on it. The hope anyway. But I would also want to pay said artist because I believe that people should be paid for their work. And well, that costs money, and I need more of that to do some of these things, such as that. It's time for the battle. Where are we? I'm not sure what the best play here is. I'm gonna put this here. And we'll see if that works. Oh, that water's real cold. I like high ground. Oh, me too. We got him. Good work, everybody. We have one Buster. It can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to Athena with 12, followed by myself with 10, and then AP10 with 7. Most assists going to El Canadona with 7, followed by a three-way tie between AP10, Artel Dust, and two Bolik, and then everyone else tying up third. Going random on the scroll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the map. We made it to the loyalty skin chest, and this will be last. Nothing special here, it doesn't look like. Got some flying melee, except my one unit that did nothing. Hello, Kaldris. Good morning. I hope that you're well. Let's go. Artel Dust wants to go over there, huh? Sure. I can go over there. Spread out a little bit farther. Okay. But there's more than this, because I also really want to do something called, like, Writing Wednesday, which would be a writing stream, where we write stories on stream. I would love that. That sounds fantastic. I don't know what to call this one. So... but I'd also really like to do game reviews. But I also want to review some of the things that I like. Like, we kind of did it already a little bit. Like when we did our full gameplay streams and we played all the way through like Resident Evil 7 and Owlboy and stuff, we did do reviews on them. And I'd like to do more of that. Let me insert a row here.
Let me make all of these just this size. A little bit easier. Podcast, stream, video, format, wrapping. News show. Dead. No. Tarkov times. Guides. News. Info. Walkthrough. I haven't touched Tarkov in a few weeks. I haven't touched Tarkov since Lost Ark came out. But that's okay. Sorta. We got a really heavy start on them, and I still want to do them. I still like Escape from Tarkov. You see my problem here? Do you see my
level up?
Oh my god. Tech Ray, thank you so much. God dang it. You're not a follow. Get out of here. Ban you right now. So excited for a follower and it's fake. Rude. Do you want to buy followers? No! I wanted you to be a real person. I wanted you to be somebody that liked me. Anyway. That happened. Yeah, I haven't touched Escape from Tarkov since Lost Ark came out. I've been really enjoying the shit about on Lost Ark. This one I'm not as serious about. But I'm going to put it anyway. Fighting game streams Fridays. Where'd that NFT go? Let me put this in here. TikTok looks like so much fucking fun sometimes, but I actually bought a ring light to consider starting to make TikToks, but I just again haven't done it. Music Mondays. Stream music focused Monday streams. I have a drum kit over there that is even an electronic drum kit that I could feed through my soundboard. Is there anything else that I'd been wanting to do? I wanted to get everything written down so that I could see it, right? I'd even thought of Music Mondays, Teamwork Tuesdays, Writing Wednesdays, Two Dead Dudes Thursdays, Power Couple Fridays, Spooky Saturdays, Creative Sundays. Problem with standard game reviews is that, one, it's very saturated, and two, if you don't get review codes, you just won't make the window. It's part of the reason that I like retroactive reviews, is because the window's already long past. Not as much of a market for it, but Tarkov is one of the very first games in a long time, though, like since World of Warcraft, that I'm like, man, I want to make content for this game. I still do. Still do. They lowered the amount of scrolls you get out of super boss chests. You never used to get 20. 30 was the minimum. What's this shit about? Anyone said anything about that in their Discord? Why'd they get 30? What are we checking? I just completed on my viewer side. I opened a loyalty super boss chest with Togazuna, and I got 20 scrolls. And I had never seen only getting 20 scrolls before out of a super boss chest. You always got 30 or 50. And so I wanted to see if anyone had said anything about that. And the only other thing that I've seen, I just now started to look to see. And the first thing regarding super boss, this person got 30 scrolls. But the concern for them is actually the limitation on the number of super boss chests you can get. So I'm kind of looking through here to see if, oh god, that's an incredible idea. Mini bosses that give piles of uncommon scrolls. You think there are more super boss chests in this event? Okay. But I haven't made it to the super boss maps. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here about it. Like, I don't terribly care. Increased loyalty super boss chest caps by 50%, and as doing so, they also lowered them down to 20 scrolls. So you're able to do 45 super bosses instead of 30, but you get 20 scrolls instead of 30. Some maps you have 2 super boss chests. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I don't care. I just wanted to like get more information on it. But if there's more super bosses, then that makes a bit more sense then. Okay. All right. Was there anything else? Some of this might also be changing as a heads up in terms of like the schedule. I need to talk it out with Athena with the with us going back into the office, and I know that we don't have the exact same days that we're working from home. We might have to change around some of the days that certain things happen. I don't know for certain yet. I need to talk to Athena about it. Especially since we just found out essentially yesterday for certain that we're going back into the office on Tuesday. So Teamwork Tuesday, Tuesday streams, playing games with friends in whatever capacity. Two Dead Dudes, Thursday Solstian streams. Power Couple, Friday JRPGs with Athena, Spoopy Saturdays. I'm over on Athena's channel playing Spoopy games with her later in the evening. Sunday Creative, which is what we're doing right now. Morning administrative work, video editing, and so on. Reaction content, still rolling on that pretty well. YouTube reactions recorded during the Tuesday and Thursday streams. I haven't really figured out an upload schedule that I really like with those still. Like, I've played around with it, and I can't find any pattern that I feel like works better or worse for the reaction videos. In terms of, like, what helps or hurts them in terms of visibility. Originally, when I was starting streams at 4 p.m. Alaska time, I was having the videos go live shortly after 4 o'clock, like around 4:15, 4:20, in the hopes that if somebody watched it right when it came out, that they might come by the stream. But I don't think I'm big enough for that to happen. And I've tried like launching videos at like 11 a.m. to see if I could catch like the West Coast noon crowd for like lunch videos, but I'm not sure if that was really grabbing either. It's very difficult with my limited numbers in terms of what videos do well and which videos don't, to see any pattern in terms of why one was more successful than the other. The only thing that I can say for certain is that if one of the reaction videos gets hit with a copyright, while it doesn't hurt the channel in terms of like I don't get like a strike or anything like that, it does mean that the video just does not get as many views. Collectively does not get as many views if it has a copyright claim on it. Speaking of, I meant to look. We put out the most recent video was the one on that Bleak Faith, right? This one. What was the copyright on this? Let's begin. That just looked like Dark Souls. Less like Dark Souls. I got hit with the copyright from the music that they used in their trailer. Okay. I'm surprised that this is copywritten music, considering there's such a... Like, it's such an indie studio, right? Subsidiary of Sony Music based in New York. On behalf of Season of Mist. Don't even know who the actual original artist was, because it's a holdings company making copyright claims on behalf of a record label. I wasn't able, like, this claim, I saw it while I was on the trip to my brother's wedding, and you can't check these details through mobile. Weird. But yeah, that video got murdered. Almost any video that gets hit with a copyright, just significantly worse view count. Even if it's like, and it has nothing to do with the actual, like, topic. Certain topics will do better than others. Like, apparently the fucking Proud Family video is goddamn killing it right now. Holy shit. Fucking 1,375 views on the Proud Family video. But it amazingly did not get hit with copyright. Whereas, like, that one did, the Halo video did, and the Stranger of Paradise video did, and you can see 11, 24, 32, like the freaking Halo video, the Halo video got less views than the Tales of Arise cinematic video. And that generally is true for anything that has this copyright claim on it. Like, the video gets heavily suppressed. Not always, though. The Monarch video is doing pretty well, 293 views. People were not a fan of my lack of excitement for Pokemon Legends Arceus. There's a low like ratio on that one. Yeah. I've not found a rhyme or reason with the time of releases for videos. Day doesn't seem to matter. I know a lot of other people have said that, like, don't release videos on the weekend. I've tried it. Some of them have done well. Some of them haven't. It doesn't seem to matter. Not with my size, right? Like, I'm sure that a lot of their advice, because the advice that I'm talking about comes from significantly larger channels than what I am. And I'm sure their advice is good advice for larger channels. It doesn't seem to make a lick of difference for me. Too small for it to matter. I want to rename the First Impression series to Swan Dive. I need a new logo, though. But First Impression's much too general. Swan Dive fits in with the theme, and it kind of it fits in with the theme of myself, my channel, as well as the idea behind the series. Anime analysis will absolutely probably get started now that I'm going back into the office. I'll watch like a 20-minute episode, like, on my break or something like that, and then write it throughout the day when I just need a distraction from work. So that one I will probably absolutely get going. I don't know if I'll be able to start up TikTok creation. I want to really bad. Some sort of news thing needs to happen for me mentally. It really does. Whether it's this cutesy NFT thing, or if it's a revival of iReddit, this one would be hard. I would need a lot of planning, and I wouldn't want to revive iReddit solo. NFT, I could do solo. iReddit, I couldn't do solo. I would need somebody, at least one other person involved. Novel will be starting back up soon, although that won't be anything that's very public at all. The serialized short stories I might be able to get started soon as well. Writing Wednesday, I would love to do. It will not happen under current circumstances at all whatsoever. Retroactive reviews. So here's the problem with these, right? Here's the problem with things like retroactive reviews, gaming reviews, and the Tarkov Times. Okay, all three of these. I want to do all three of these. We had dabbled before I went on the short break. We had dabbled with creating the task guides for Escape from Tarkov. I liked doing them. I liked working on them. I liked my approach. I thought that I was offering something that was beneficial, helpful, and unique. But the problem that I have is time. Because things like retroactive reviews, gaming reviews, one of the things you got to do to be able to review a game is you got to fucking play it. There's only so much time to play games. Especially when I'm spending a lot of my gaming time playing games that are not beginning to end style games. Things like Escape from Tarkov and Lost Ark. The Cycle Frontier has its closed beta 2 starting up in March 10th. These games ask for you to keep playing them and not play other games, and I'm normally very happy to oblige. And also, when you're playing these games that don't end, it means that you're not doing other things, like editing. I really want to do these three things really badly. But my brain is not currently giving me the options of how and where to schedule it in such a way that I would properly actually work on it in the way that I should and hold myself accountable for it. That's why this stream exists, by the way, so that I don't just fuck around all week long, so that I'll actually get some shit done. We got 3 videos edited this morning, and we're working on getting the future of my content creation sorted out. And if it wasn't for this stream, I don't know if I would do that, but this holds me accountable in a way that I couldn't hold, that is difficult for me to hold myself accountable otherwise. Did we get full circle? Is this playlist only like 2 hours and 45 minutes long? Because we just got full circle. This is what we started on. Thought it was longer than that. We need more music in this, apparently, is what I'm hearing. I've not paused it at all, so apparently that is the length of it. So with these things, I would need to figure out how and where this fits in. And then these are streams that I would love to do. Fighting Game Fridays, Music Mondays. Fighting Fridays, Music Mondays. I would love to do both of these, but Mondays is date night with Athena. So that means that day is work, maybe a bit of whatever after work, and then spending time with the wifey in the evening. Fighting Fridays is very similar. Work, and then a bit of time in between before me and Athena start a power couple and play JRPGs together. So a lot of this, like Writing Wednesday, also can't happen because it's work, a little bit of time, and then Athena's Wind Down Wednesday stream. While I still have to go to a day job, these cannot happen. And I think that's unfortunately the way that a lot of these things will end up being, is that as long as I have to go to a day job, about half of these have no hope of ever happening. As much as that frustrates me. Because there are 20 things that this list is 20 objects long. 20 projects long. And I'm not even actually positive that this is all of them. I'll leave that there for now, though. That at least lets me put it out into a more tangible form than all of these 20 projects just jumbling around in my head. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. But, alas, gonna finally tap out. Really need to head to your folks. That's fine, El Canadiano. You are most welcome to come and go as you need and as you please. Thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me. I appreciate it immensely. Hope you have a good time with your family. I hope that everything in terms of things that are happening with you and yours go as well as they can. Again, El Canadiano, if you need anything, just let me or anything to know. I know there's only so much that we can do, but I appreciate you a lot. Thank you for being here. We're going to be running this battle and then looking for somebody to raid anyway, so it all works out all the same. But I do appreciate you immensely. So thank you so much, and take it easy. I'll see you around. Athena has placed... Is there anyone else I can place with? We have 30 seconds left. Where are we at? What does Poseidon do? Kills everything for 20 seconds. Okay. And then reappears later to kill everything. Got it. Let's do this. Should be far enough forward. Yeah. That was a good placement. Rem smash. Oh, man. Rem cleaved that whole thing. Do barbarians actually hit in a full circle around them? Do we know? Like, I know they cleave, but it definitely feels like they hit enemies that are even behind them. Like, do they swing in a circle? You believe they do? Okay, I thought so. Skin! Yeah! Wait, Nike Templar? What? Anyway. 200 gold, it can be used for 1,669 channel points. 2 monks, that can be used for 420 channel points. Most kills zone to El Canadiano with 15, followed by myself with 11, and then AP 10 with 10. Most assists to Kaldris with 6, followed by myself with 4, and then a 4-way tie between El Canadiano, AP 10, Artel Dust, and Jarda 97CZ for 3rd. Going random on the scrolls and the gold. Yeah, right? That looks sick, too. I don't actually have a Templar skin that I really use. That one looks pretty good. Of course, a lot of the skins for this event look really good. I didn't buy the Battle Pass for whatever the last event was. Glitched. Did not buy the Battle Pass. I liked the Ragdoll Flying Rogue, but it wasn't worth $10 to me. That whole event was not. It wasn't it, fam. It was not it. All right, going random in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. El Canadiano with the gold, Kaldris with the monks, back to the map, and that will leave us. We'll go up to this silver chest on Tuesday, because I don't trust that gold chest. It means that we'll have a longer journey to get to the boss, but that's okay, because it probably won't go well. That's just the reality that it be, is that it probably won't go well. Okay, this is me, so let me leave that there. Let me close Athena's down, and let's see who's streaming right now. Let's take a little look-see and see where we can go head off to. I believe Zipwee is still going, and they have a skinathon right now, right? They do. Okay, that's where we're going then. All right, everybody. I will be back on Tuesday. I should, actually. Okay, I hope to be here on Tuesday. But that said, Tuesday is actually the day that we are physically going back into the office, so that is not necessarily a guarantee. But, you know, we'll see. That's the hope anyway. Should be back on Tuesday. Why did my command not work? There it goes. If you need the raid message, we're going to go raid Zipwee. If you noticed all my cute little putty skins that I use all the time, they are all from Zipwee. They currently have a skinathon going on for stream raiders. Please go along and show them. Nightbot is no longer a sub. This is what the sub message looks like. If you don't have the raid swan and you are not a sub, you can actually unlock it for 100 channel points to be able to use on the raid. Thank you so much, everybody, that has supported me through all of this and that continue to support me. I appreciate you immensely. And, thank you. Yeah, genuinely. So I'm going to hit this. We're going to let the credits roll because I actually remembered to open StreamerBot this time. Except it grabbed that stupid bot. It's not a follower. It's a fake. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I appreciate you a lot. And let's go visit Zipwee and all of their incredibleness. Bye.
Oh, Schwan, thank you for the